Hi, my name is King Beam, and I'm a Severance addict. About 3 weeks ago, I started watching Severance, and I was instantly hooked. And on Friday, I watched the season 2 finale, and I loved it. I loved it a lot. Now, on every app I go on, my entire feed is just Severance, 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 Severance. Everywhere I go, it's just straight Severance. And you want to know what? I'm not ashamed. I am proud of the man that I am. I am proud to be a Severance fan. And if you are watching this right now, if you are listening to the sound of my voice and you haven't seen Severance, what are you doing? Like, honestly, what are you doing with your life? Watch Severance right now, because I'm gonna spoil it. I'm gonna spoil everything, okay? So if you haven't seen it, you should probably click off the video, because I'm about to spoil everything, because we need to talk about Severance. I'm gonna focus on season 2, okay? But anyway, if you're still here and you don't care about spoilers, just a little overview of the series. It's a show about it's about a lot. I don't know if I can really put it into words. It's the main character is this man named Mark Scout, and his wife died, so he decides to get a job at Lumen. And when you get a job at Lumen, you can get a job on the severed floor. And on the severed floor, they sever your brain. They kind of like split it in half in a way, so that when you go down the elevator and you go to work, your brain at work won't remember your brain on the outside world. So you won't have any memories of who you were on the outside world. And when you go back up and you go home, you won't have any memories of who you were when you were at work. And he just wanted to do this so that, for about 8 hours a day, he can forget the pain of his wife being dead. You know what I'm saying? The love of his life is gone. So he's like, hey, let me sever my brain real quick. And yeah, so that's his story. And then in episode 1 of the entire season, we meet this lady, and her name is Helly R, and she is the new recruit that's going to be working under Mark. And just a whole bunch of weird shenanigans ensue, and there's dance parties and goats and weird hallways and paintings and there's just a whole bunch going on here on the severed floor. And their bosses are really weird, really odd individuals, okay? But we get to the end of season 1, and they figure out a way to access the overtime protocol, so that they're called innies and outies, right? So their innies will take the body of the outies while they're in the outside world. And so then at the end of that season, they're like on the outside world for real, and they interact with everything that's going on and blah, 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 blah. So then we start season 2, right? We start season 2, and Mark comes back to work, and he has a whole new team, and he's like, hey, what's going on? I want my old team back. And apparently now they're kind of showing them off as heroes, because they kind of exposed Lumen to the world. So like, bet, we're going to spin it. We're going to make them heroes. These guys are heroes. Let's bring them back. They bring back the crew. It's him, it's Heliar, it's Irv, and it's Dylan. All right, Dylan G. I don't even know what Irving's full name is, but we got Dylan G, we got Heliar, we got Mark S, and we got Irving. And that's our core 4 through most of the series. And there's just a whole bunch of weird stuff happens, and that's what I'm going to focus on, okay? Enough of the overview. I'm just about to get into theories and talk about weird shenanigans and all this good stuff that went on. The first thing that I want to talk about is Seth, all right? My boy, Seth Milchick. Seth Milchick, best character in the series by far, okay? He's just funny. He's just hilarious. And I like how they delve deep into his character this season. They get, like, we don't really get a backstory, but there's this one scene where he's like staring at himself in a mirror and yelling at himself, because the higher ups, they did a performance review for him, and the higher ups were like, hey, you're using too many big words. You gotta stop using so many big words. You know what I'm saying? And so he goes and he stares at himself in the mirror, and he's like telling himself to be better and do better and do better. And I feel like that has something to do with, maybe his childhood. What I think happened is there was this other like this like I was about to say tiny human. Um, there's this little girl working in the office, right? And she was I think what is happening is she's part of this program within Lumen where like they work in the office for a little while, and then if they do well, they get to go to this like Lumen work. That sounds really bad, work camp, but not like a, you know, they're basically like raised by Lumen to become Lumen workers, and I feel like Seth Milchick was part of that, and I think that maybe this is why he is the way that he is, but I don't care. You know, I thought that he was really mean in season 1. I wasn't a big fan of him, but to see this in season 2, and he's all the jokes that he has, even in season 1, bro's over here dancing. He's a big dance guy. He was dancing in the finale. I love every scene where Seth Milchick is dancing. And then there's this one scene where he like puts this sheet of paper in front of Dylan and then just runs away. He just starts running. He just does silly stuff. And then there's this one scene, because yeah, they was getting on him for using too many big words. And then he had enough of it. And he looked his boss in the eyes, and you know what he said to him? He said, "Devour feculence. It means eat shit." I love this guy. I love this guy. Devour feculence. I'm about to start using that. Bro loves his big words, and I'm proud of him for it. But he's a big mover of plot in these episodes because he's literally he's like the manager on the severed floor. So he's kind of trying to get work moving along even when work isn't happening. He's trying to get them to get the work done because the whole point of the season was for Mark to complete Cold Harbor, which we're going to get into later. But in order for Cold Harbor to get complete, the boss has to push him to get his work done. And Mr. Milchick was there to help him get his work done. He provided them with benefits. They had a watermelon party. They had dance party was season 1. But you know, Mr. Milchick was there for them along the entire way. And he was my favorite character of season 2. I think he's just my favorite character in the series by far. I'm not gonna lie. Easily. On to the next topic of discussion. Will Mark have any side effects of reintegration? Because I know that his reintegration isn't complete yet, but when they literally did the reintegration process, right? And then he was like, he did something wrong, and then he falls on his head. And then for an entire episode, we spent an entire episode looking back on the past and his past with Gemma and how she eventually died, or so he thought. And it was, I mean, it was cool to see his past and how he was a professor and how he met Gemma and all that. But he woke up at the end. But before this happened, he was having weird like reintegration sickness, and he was having nosebleeds, and he was kind of seeing. He was seeing work when he was at home, and he was seeing his home when he was at work, and he was having these weird shenanigans happening to him. But then after he fell on his head and was in a coma for a couple of days, he woke up, but now he's magically fine. So I'm like, is there going to be any more reintegration sickness symptoms? How does that work? Because he reintegrated halfway, but wouldn't that do something? It kind of just seems like we're back to square one, where Innie and Outie Mark are two separate people. But wouldn't reintegration make them the same person? I want to know what's going on with that, because I'm pretty confused as to how that works. I don't really get it. I would like to get it. If you guys have theories, let me know. Let's have a conversation. Comment something. Talk to me. Okay? Shout out, I forgot what the name was, but shout out the person who commented on my Spider-Man video. They were like, yo, you need to be more structured. You need to tell me how you're feeling about certain things. Don't just ramble so much. And I was like, okay, I'm trying to take into consideration what y'all are saying so I can be better for you, okay? I got bullet points. I'm not just rambling. I got bullet points. I'm expressing my feelings about the show. I listen to you because I love you. And if you love me too, subscribe. That was a good little, subscribe thing. But yeah, join the Beam team. Anyway, is he gonna have reintegration sickness? I don't know. I feel like it would be weird if he didn't, but maybe he won't. I don't know. On to the next one. Why didn't Outie Mark tell Innie Mark about Petey? Innie Mark, well, yeah, because Petey, when he first met Outie Mark, I'm gonna refer to him as Mark Scout. in any Mark is Mark S. When he first met Mark Scout, he told him that he was Mark S's best friend at Lumen. So why, when Mark Scout was talking to Mark S, do the whole little camera thing, why didn't he tell him, hey, your friend Petey told me about reintegration. He's the reason why I did it. So then I feel like Mark S would have been more on board with the whole idea and saving Gemma and all that. I feel like because he left out that really critical piece of information, Mark S really doesn't like Mark Scout. And he's like, yo, you're trying to get rid of me. Which I feel like Mark Scout is trying to get rid of Mark S. Because at the end of the day, Mark just wants his wife back. And you know what? Noble cause. Noble cause. If I found out that my wife was taken hostage by the company I'm working for, I'm gonna try to steal her back. I don't care about my work personality. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Mark S has become sentient. He's like, yo, I wanna live. I don't wanna die. But I feel like if Mark Scout told Mark S about PD, we could have avoided any unnecessary, what's the word I'm looking for? Not banter, but like clashing between the two Marks, because there's supposed to be two sides of one whole. They're supposed to work together, but they're not working together because Mark S thinks that Mark Scout is trying to kill him, which he probably is because he's trying to get his wife back. But you know, hey, he should have told him about Petey. All right, what was Irv doing? I'm really confused about this one. I've been waiting to talk about this one. I really want to hear y'all's theories on this, because when we first see Audi Irv, he's working on this painting, and it's a painting of a hallway. And immediately when I see this dark painting of the hallway, I remember at the beginning of the season when Irv was sitting at his desk and he's seeing these black blobs fall down, and he's like, he gets scared. So is that the painting seeping into Innie's memory? But how does Innie know what's going on? And then why is Audi Irv investigating Lumen like he's trying to kill people related to Lumen? Apparently he looked like he had some sort of a hit list, and that's why I forgot what his name was, but his boyfriend at Lumen sent him on a train so that he could live because Lumen was coming to kill Irv. So what was Irv doing? Why did he know? Why does Audi Irv know about the dark hallway? How did any Irv find out where the door is that leads to the dark hallway? What is Irv? I feel like Irv knows more than he lets on, because how did he know all this? This is what really baffles me. I'm not gonna lie. Out of everything that happened within these two seasons, I think the biggest thing that I want to know is what is going on with Irving, because he knows something. He knows something that we don't. And I want to know how. How did he know about the hallway? And what is the black goop? But we can't know anymore because he's literally dead. Any Irving is dead now. And Irving is gone. So we're never gonna know. But I want to know. How did he know? Okay, that was, I don't know. I'm never gonna know, am I? Because he's like gone now, which kind of sucks. But like, how did he? Okay. I'm literally, when I'm saying this, I just see the does he know meme in my brain. Okay, let's talk about Gemma. All right, Miss Casey, as we formerly knew her name is Gemma, and I really love this show because it makes me laugh a lot. But like, they're hiding inside of all of this humor. They're hiding a really, 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 really dark story. And now I don't really know everything that they were trying to do here, but they had separated Gemma's brain into 25 different people. So Gemma has 25 different innies, and each door leads to a different innie. And then when they completed Cold Harbor was supposed to lead her to her 25th, and she was supposed to die. But then here comes the goats, all right? So the goats, something is supposed to happen, and I think they were supposed to like splice her brain with a goat brain, and I don't know if they're trying to make a goat human. I don't know what they're trying to do here. I honestly don't know what they're trying to do, and I really want to know, because they They made her take apart a baby crib because she really wanted to have a child, and something was wrong and she couldn't have children. And so they made her Innie take apart a crib, and when they saw that she didn't have any emotional response to doing this, they realized, okay, she doesn't remember this. So where does the goat? I don't know. I need people to talk about this with. I need y'all to leave some comments, because I know that y'all know things that I don't, but I really want to know what's up with that. Because I sidetracked sort of back in season 1 when Mark and Helly found the goat room. The guy was like, they're not ready yet. You can't kill them. They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. And now we know that they've been taking the goats to run tests. Because when the lady brought Mr. Drummond the goat, she was like, I'm tired of you killing my baby. So how many times have they done this goat death ritual? Because they have this whole gun that they shoot in the goat's head and kill the goat. How many times have they done this, and why are they doing this? Why are they hurting the goats, and what does that have to do with Gemma's brain? And why are they trying to kill Gemma? And why Gemma? Why Mark? I don't know. Why? I walked into this video wanting to talk about the show because I really loved it, but now I just have too many questions that I don't know the answers to, and now I have to theorize about what's going on. I think they're trying to splice the brains. I think they're trying to splice together a goat brain and Gemma brain and create a goat human. Because that's why they divided her into 25 different personalities. Maybe they want 25 different goat people with 25 different personalities that they can control. Like clones. Like clone troopers, but goats. You know what I'm saying? You know, when Jango Fett was the blueprint for all the clones, but the clones had different personalities? Maybe they're trying to clone Gemma, but make goat people. I don't know. I feel like I might be onto something. I feel like I might be onto something. Goat human clone Gemmas. You heard it here first. When it happens in the show, it was me. I called it, all right? Now, the last thing I want to talk about is the Innie Uprising. I'm excited. I'm quite excited. I feel like we are entering an Innie renaissance. When I saw that last scene, now I know a lot of people were mad at Mark S because Gemma is literally yelling for him to come out here and escape and go home with her, and he knows that that's his Audie's wife. But his girl's right behind him. And if I'm him, I'm doing the same thing. If my girl is standing behind me and a girl that I don't even know, well, he does know her, but he knows Miss Casey, but he doesn't know Gemma, and she's yelling at him to come, and he's like, no. And if he only has a little bit more time left to live, and he can choose to be with the love of his life for like 10 more minutes, I'm taking the 10 minutes with my girl. I'm sorry. I applaud Mark S. I would have done the same thing. But the band has Mr. Milchick cornered in the room with Dylan, and Dylan already hates Mr. Milchick. So I feel like once Mark and Helly get back in the room, they're about to start an Innie uprising. There's going to be a coup, and the Innies are going to take over Lumen. I'm thinking they might start a little Innie civilization on the severed floor. I think that could be possible. They get food, they got goat milk. The goat people on their side too, and the goat people are ravenous. So if they got the goat people, they got the band, low key, those other people, I forgot what subset division of Lumen they're with, but the Burt's people in MDR. We got 4 different groups of Innies that are ready to rise up against Lumen. So I think we start an Innie civilization, we start a coup, we take over Lumen, Innie uprising. I'm here for the Innie uprising, okay? Justice for Innies. Innies deserve lives too, okay? They don't deserve to be put down and forgotten and just used to do work and shoved to the side like that. Nah. I'm here for the Innies. Hashtag Innie uprising in the chat. This isn't a chat, it's a comment section, but you know what I mean. Hashtag Innie uprising. Innies unite. Innies up next. Innies for life, yo. But yeah, I really, 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 really love Severance. I can't stop talking about it. I can't stop thinking about it. I can't stop looking at it. I need more. The CEO of Apple has confirmed season 3, so I'll be anxiously awaiting its glorious return when it returns. But until then, please comment. Let's have a little conversation. Let's talk about Severance. If you enjoyed the video, please drop a like and subscribe. Join the Beam team. And yeah, that's all the YouTuber stuff out of the way. I think I've been pretty consistent. Clap it up for your boy. I've been consistent. But yeah, next week, either Andor or Daredevil. I said that last week, but Severance dropped and I didn't know the season finale was dropping, so I had to drop this video. But next week, it's either going to be Andor or Daredevil season 1. So yeah, stay tuned and find out next time on King X Beam. I love you. Have a great day. Peace out. Innies unite. Yeah.